There's a specific type of person in your life right now who is quietly hoping you'll confront them. You don't know it yet. They act like they'd hate it. They act like they want peace. But underneath, they're waiting for you to snap, because the moment you do, they win. Not because they're stronger, because you handed them exactly what they needed to reframe you as the problem. This is the trap. And most people fall into it over and over their whole lives. They get pushed, they get tested, they get poked at in small ways for weeks. And then one day, they finally react. They confront. They raise their voice. They say the thing they've been holding back. And within 24 hours, the person who was quietly provoking them is telling everyone how unstable, how emotional, how difficult you are. The story gets flipped. You become the villain in a fight you didn't start, and the person who set the whole thing up walks away untouched. Machiavelli understood this pattern centuries before modern psychology had a name for it. He wrote, "The one who is provoked into speaking loudly gives their opponent a page to write against them for years." That's the truth. Every confrontation is a page. Every argument becomes evidence in a story someone else controls. And every time you react the way you were expected to react, you become easier to write about, easier to twist, easier to reduce. But there is a different game, a quieter one, and it terrifies the people who count on you being reactive. When you stop confronting, something strange starts happening to them. They lose their footing. They can't tell what you're thinking. Their usual tricks stop working. They push harder and get nothing back. And somewhere between weeks 2 and 6, without you ever saying a word, they start unraveling. Not because you attacked them, because they attacked themselves against your silence, and there was nothing there to catch them. That is what this video is going to show you. 7 laws that turn silence into strategy. 7 ways to stop giving people the confrontation they were counting on, and a final law that ties every other law together. Miss the final one, and the others only work halfway. Get it, and you become the kind of person nobody can pull into their game again. Now, before we start, drop this statement in the comments. I do not enter their game. Now, let's start. Law 1. Silence is the trap they cannot escape. Watch a person who has been provoking you carefully. Notice what they do the moment they say something sharp. They look at you, fast. They check your face. They check your eyes. They're not waiting for logic. They're waiting for a flinch, a twitch of anger, a tightening of the jaw. Any sign that their words landed. That flinch is the reward. That is what they came for. And when you don't give it to them, their whole plan collapses in the first 2 seconds. Most people fail here because they think silence is just the absence of words. It isn't. Silence is a specific physical skill. Your mouth stays closed, but your face stays neutral. Your eyes stay soft. Your shoulders stay down. Your breath stays slow. The moment any part of your body betrays a reaction, they read it and they use it. So the silence has to be complete, not a performance of calm. Real calm, sitting inside a body that isn't fighting itself. Here's what starts happening inside them almost immediately. Their brain expected a specific outcome, and the outcome didn't arrive. Their mind starts filling in the gap. Maybe you didn't hear them. Maybe you didn't care. Maybe you noticed something they don't want you to notice. Their imagination starts working against them, and it doesn't stop. Every day that passes without your reaction is another day. Their mind spins stories about what your silence might mean. That spinning becomes exhausting, and that exhaustion is the beginning of them breaking. Machiavelli left behind a warning that fits perfectly here. The one who speaks against a still surface eventually loses their own voice. A still surface gives them nothing to push against, no wave to ride. No echo to sharpen their next attack. They tire themselves out. They start sounding desperate. And eventually, they stop. Law 2. Never explain what they already understand. Ask yourself something honest. Every time you have tried to explain your side to a person who twists your words, has it ever actually worked? Have they ever paused, thought about it, and said, "You know what? You're right. I misunderstood you"? Almost never, because they were never confused in the first place. Here's what you have to accept before this law can work. The people who twist your words are not misunderstanding you. They understand you fully. Their confusion is a costume. It gives them permission to keep the fight going, keep asking questions, keep getting more material out of you. Every explanation you offer is a longer rope, and they know exactly how to use rope. I want you to try something the next time this happens. Say one clean sentence, just one, something that states your position with no emotion, no defensiveness, no extra words. Then close your mouth. Do not add. Do not soften. Do not explain the explanation. Just let that one sentence sit there. Watch what they do next. If they wanted the truth, they'll pause and take it in. If they wanted a fight, they'll immediately twist your one sentence into something new. That reaction gives you your answer about what kind of listener you were dealing with. Once you know they're the second kind, you never explain again. Not the next day, not the next week, not in the next conversation. They lost the privilege of your explanation the moment they showed you what they do with it. From then on, they get a sentence, they get a pause, they get nothing, and every explanation they don't get is a piece of their strategy that stops working. There's an old saying that captures this exactly. You do not open your door to a thief just because they knock politely. Their politeness, their calm tone, their sudden reasonableness in the middle of a fight are not real. They're the polite knock. And you are not required to open. Law 3. Do not defend what does not need defending. Picture something for a second. Someone across a room makes a comment about you. Something small, something a little cutting. You have two paths. Path 1. You walk over, explain yourself, correct the record, defend your reputation. Path 2. You glance at them, look away, and continue your conversation as if the comment never landed. Both people in the room watched the same moment. Which version of you looks stronger? Almost every time, Path 2 looks stronger. Because Path 1 just made a small comment into a big scene, and Path 2 made it disappear. This is the thing most people never learn. Defending something small makes the small thing big. Ignoring something small makes it stay small. And the people you were worried would believe the comment, usually watch how you respond to decide whether the comment mattered. Sharp people have a filter for this that most people never build. Before they respond to any attack on their character, they ask 3 quick questions in their head. Does this person actually have any influence over my real life? Do the people who matter to me already know the truth? Will responding change anything, or just feed the fire? If the answers are no, no, and just feed the fire, silence is not weakness. Silence is strategy. Machiavelli's own wisdom points to this directly. The one who defends every insult ends the year wounded on all sides. The one who chooses only the fights worth having ends the year standing. Your energy is a limited resource. Every defense is a withdrawal. Defend everything, and you'll be empty by the time a fight worth having actually shows up. Here's what starts happening to them when you refuse to defend. They wanted to see you rush. They wanted to see you scramble. They wanted a moment of your visible panic to hold up as proof. When they don't get it, their attack looks lightweight, even to them. They start wondering what they don't know. They start wondering why you seem so unconcerned. and their imagination becomes their punishment. Now drop this line in the comments. I do not fight what cannot hurt me. Law 4. Let them talk. They will finish the job for you. Here's something the sharpest people in every industry, every family, every friend group figure out eventually. If you stay quiet long enough, guilty people convict themselves. Manipulators expose themselves. Liars contradict themselves. You don't have to catch them. You don't have to trap them. You just have to give them room. And they will fill that room with everything you needed to know. Most people can't tolerate more than a few seconds of silence in a conversation. They rush to fill it, and when they rush, they slip. They mention a detail they weren't supposed to know. They tell a story that doesn't match a story they told last week. They contradict themselves in the same sentence. They admit something they weren't planning to admit. All of this is free information. All of it lands in your lap if you stop trying to control the conversation and just let it breathe. The technique is simple, but almost nobody uses it. Ask a calm, open question. Something without accusation in it. Something that just sounds curious. Then, stop talking. Do not add. Do not clarify. Do not soften. Look at them with steady, quiet attention. 9 times out of 10, they start talking, and they will keep talking until they have told you something they never planned to tell you. Never point out what they revealed. Never confront them with what they said. Just take the information. Use it privately. Adjust your behavior. Pull back. Plan differently. Protect yourself in ways you couldn't before. They handed you the map to themselves, and they don't even know they gave it away. There's a piece of Machiavelli's thinking that captures this perfectly. Give a person patience and time, and they will tell you the truth they came to hide. That is the rule. Patience is not passive. Patience is a strategy. And in almost every conversation, whoever holds patience longest wins the exchange. Law 5. Withdraw quietly. Do not announce. Every time someone finally decides to cut off a person who has been draining them, they make one specific mistake. They announce it. They write the long message. They give the big closing speech. They explain what the person did wrong, what changed, why the relationship is over. They think they need closure. They think they deserve to say their piece. And in that final moment of announcing their exit, they hand over the exact material the other person needed to spin the story after they leave. Think about what happens next. The person you left goes to everyone who knew you both. They show them your long message. They frame it as evidence of your instability. They shake their head and say things like, "I was worried about them. They've been so emotional lately. And now people who used to trust you are looking at you a little differently. Not because you did anything wrong, because you handed the writer of the story a full paragraph they get to twist however they want." Sharp exits look completely different. There's no announcement, there's no scene, there's no closing statement, there's just a slow, quiet distance that grows over weeks. Your replies get shorter, your availability gets thinner, your warmth cools half a degree at a time. There's nothing dramatic to point to, nothing to screenshot, nothing to show a group of mutual friends, just an absence that grows quietly until one day it's complete. The move works like this. Stop initiating contact first. Then, when they reach out to you, keep your replies short and polite, a one-line response instead of a paragraph. When they want to meet, something always comes up. You're not rude. You're never harsh. You're just a little less available every week. And by the time they realize you're gone, you're already gone. Watch what starts happening in them during a quiet exit. In the first week, they don't notice much. In the second, they feel something is off. In the third, they start pushing to get your attention back. In the fourth, they start doing things designed to provoke a reaction. This is the danger zone. Every provocation is an invitation back into the game. Do not accept. Every time you resist, their power over you shrinks a little more, and within a month or two, they've moved on to easier targets. And you've moved on to a life without them in it. Now again, write this affirmation in the comments. My exit needs no announcement. Law 6. Trust time to expose what confrontation cannot. Here's a truth most people are too impatient to use. Every mask cracks. Every performance has holes. Every liar leaves footprints. You don't have to force the truth out of anyone. You just have to wait long enough for the truth to walk out on its own. The problem is that most people can't wait. They want the confrontation now. They want to catch the liar this week. They want closure by Friday. So they rush, they accuse, they demand answers. And by rushing, they give the other person time to prepare, rehearse, and get ahead of the story. Confrontation always warns the deceiver. Silence gives them enough rope to tie their own knots without knowing anyone is watching. There's a specific way to use this. When you suspect someone isn't who they say they are, don't ask them directly. Ask small, indirect questions across weeks. Different questions, different days. Ones that make them tell you the same story from different angles. Over time, watch how the story shifts. Watch which details change. Watch what they add and what they leave out. If they're honest, the story holds. If they're not, the cracks appear on their own, and you get to see the truth without ever showing your hand. There's an old saying that has protected the wise for centuries. Time is a slow judge, but it never rules incorrectly. That's the rule. Time will show you everything. You just have to be still enough to let it. Most people can't be still. They rush toward answers, and they get half of them. Meanwhile, the person who could have waited a few more weeks gets the whole picture, delivered by the person themselves, without a single accusation ever leaving their mouth. Here's what starts happening to a manipulator when you refuse to confront, but keep watching quietly. They relax. They think they got away with it. They stop being careful. They make bigger mistakes. They contradict themselves in front of other people. They start slipping in ways they never would have if you'd confronted them and put them on guard. And eventually, without you doing anything, the truth becomes visible to everyone. You didn't expose them. They exposed themselves, and you were already gone by the time it happened. Law 7. Your peace is the final weapon. Now, we get to the law that makes every other law work. Miss this, and the first 6 will feel impossible to hold. Get this, and they become automatic. Here's the truth almost nobody wants to face. You can only stay out of their game if your peace is real. Fake peace has cracks, and manipulators can smell cracks. If your silence is hiding rage, they know. If your calm is a performance, they feel it. If your patience is a mask, they can see the mask move. But if your peace is real, if it's built from an inner life that is genuinely full, they cannot get through, not because you're pretending to be untouchable, because there is nothing inside you that reaches out to grab their bait. This is the difference between surface calm and deep calm. Surface calm is a face you put on. It only lasts a while before it cracks. Deep calm comes from a life that is genuinely built, work that matters to you, people who genuinely love you, goals that pull you forward, a body you take care of, a mind you're comfortable being alone with. When those things exist, other people's chaos has nowhere to land. Their attacks miss because there's no exposed nerve to hit. Look back at the 6 laws before this one. Silence only works if it comes from calm. Refusing to explain only works if you don't need approval. Refusing to defend only works if you don't need validation. Letting them talk only works if you can sit still without discomfort. Withdrawing quietly only works if you don't secretly want them to chase you. Letting time do the work only works if you can wait without anxiety. Every single one of the first 6 laws stands on the ground of this 7th law. That is why it is the master law. Machiavelli left behind a truth that ties all of this together. The one whose peace is built into their bones cannot be reached by another's storm. The one whose peace is painted on their skin will lose it in the first rain. Which peace you own is decided by what you feed. Feed your inner life every day, and the peace becomes real. Neglect it, and every performance eventually cracks in front of the wrong person. Watch what happens to the people who used to be able to shake you when your peace becomes real. Their provocations feel weaker every time. Their attacks land in empty air. Their attempts to pull you back into the game feel more desperate and less effective. They don't know what changed about you. They just know they can't reach you anymore. Some drift away quietly. Some try new attacks and fail, and a few of them, quietly, start respecting you in a way they never did before, because on some level they can feel that you have something they don't. Leave this message in the comments. My peace is untouchable. The final thought. Stopping confrontation is not weakness. It is not passivity. It is not avoidance of hard truths. It is the refusal to enter a game that was built to reduce you. Every provocation is a test. Every insult is bait. Every attempt to pull you into a fight is a plan someone else already drew up on paper. When you refuse to enter, you refuse to run their play. And their play was the only thing they had. Take that away, and they don't have a follow-up move. They're left standing there, confused, holding a strategy that used to work on everyone. You've now learned 7 laws that most people never figure out. Silence they cannot escape, refusing to explain to hostile ears, refusing to defend what doesn't need defense. Letting them talk until they expose themselves. Withdrawing quietly, without announcement. Letting time do the work confrontation cannot. And building an inner peace so real that all 6 other laws become effortless. Don't try to use all 7 tomorrow. Pick one, the one that fits your life right now. Use it for a full week. Watch what changes. Then add the next one. Layer by layer, over months, you'll become someone different. Calmer, sharper, impossible to trap. And the people who used to control your emotional weather will find that their weather doesn't reach you anymore. Some of them will get frustrated, some will escalate, some will make one last dramatic attempt to pull you back into a fight so they can spin the story of you being the difficult one. Do not go. Every temptation to defend, explain, or confront is another audition you can refuse. Stay in your silence. Stay in your peace, stay in the life you're building. And within a season or 2, they will be a footnote in your story instead of a chapter. If any of this landed, hit the like button. Share this with someone who has been fighting fights they should have walked away from. Subscribe if you want more Machiavelli lessons on power, calm, and quiet strength. Before you go, remember one final truth. The people who want to shake you are not powerful. They are dependent. They need your reaction to feel anything. When you refuse to give it to them, you take away the one thing that was giving them power over you. Say this one last time with me. I do not enter their game. Mean it. Live it. Become it. You're untouchable now. Watch them break.